It's way past time I dispense some indiscriminate justice!
G'day guys, Duckville here. Welcome to game number 5, the final game of this best of 5 grand final for the MC Internet Cafe tournament, which took place in April down in Melbourne, Perth, and also New Zealand. You're sort of wondering, how can an internet cafe be in 3 places at the same time? These guys have got stores in those locations, 2 in Melbourne, 2 in Auckland, and 1 over in Perth. And as we had on that particular day where this tournament took place, a lot of gamers went to each of those cafes and then had essentially a larger style LAN where you actually have everyone at each of the places to play some games, and they did quite well. So a lot of the games were very cool, so I'm going to cast some of the extra games, of course. But today, now that we are in the 5th and final game, we're going to have between Finest, the green Terran up here, and nGenSoft, who is nGenMaster, aka nGenMaster, and he's in the pretty pink down here at this expansion, getting a little bit off there with his cancelling the extractor to get the extra drone out, but either way he's got it done, and we'll see what he gets up to here. We have an overload scouting the wrong direction, but that's okay because the drone has now gotten inside the main, and now we actually see this is very cool. He's going to probably get this in the way of the SCV. It does get in the way of where the SCV was likely to build the barracks. You can actually do this a lot to Terrans, and it really pisses them off, but we'll see what happens here. 2 SCVs now coming down to probably try and take out the drone if possible. One of them is going to build the racks. There we go. And the other is going to chase that drone around. Probably want to send it back to the mineral line perhaps to make sure that it's not losing too many minerals. But as we can see, we do have Master going down for this quick expansion. Backwater Gulch is the map, of course. You do need to keep in mind Backwater Gulch is it can be difficult at times to actually hold this natural expansion here, because there are 2 paths across that you have to be aware of. There is, of course, the backdoor rocks, which of course are very, very annoying if they get taken down. The other problem is against the Terran. Do be aware that Terrans can put some siege tanks here and just absolutely annihilate the natural expansion if those rocks aren't gone. So do be very careful of that sort of strategy if you are playing on this map. This drone is now harassing away at this SCV. It's taken a couple of bites out of that SCV, and he's not really doing too much other than that. But we do see that the SCV is starting to fight back. He's had enough, and he's going to fight for his right to party. But the drone is now decided to have his own party. He's going to come inside the main, gets inside whilst the supply depot is down. Very cool to actually get inside there. 3 SCVs coming to the aid of their mate there, and they do deny that drone from killing that one last SCV, and they do actually heal up that SCV as well. As you can see, stolen gas here, sorry, from Master. He's done that in a couple of these games, and we'll see if that has any outcome. But we do have the same sort of play, although keep in mind we've mentioned in a couple of games that Finest has done this build where he grabs that really fast Hellion and actually takes the SCVs off the gas, but this time he's still got the gas in, so we may see something different as an opener from Finest, which is really good. And of course, in in a final game where you need to clinch the victory to actually take the title, it is a little bit of a good idea perhaps to do something that's a little bit different. Well, obviously it's good to do a different strategy generally, but in the 5th final game, if you're going to do something different, make sure you give it a go and make sure you pull it out, because that's where the victory will be. Now we do have a natural all done. A queen is going to pop out at that expansion. The lair has been very quick here from Master. He's going to have that up quite soon. The Zergling's going to run around the map, but we do have a creep tumor being pooped down here from the queen. She's going to be able to get that down and probably start spreading some creep. That's what you really want as a Zerg, to make sure you have this expansion secure. So do try and get that running up. We do have a second factory here and an armory. This is a very quick armory for considering what Finest has been doing in the prior games. He's been getting the armory just a little bit later, perhaps after the second factory is done. That is actually really quick, and if we actually, now that we think about it, if we have a look at the gas, he actually got his second gas kind of quick for what he's been doing as well. I am thinking this could be a Thor Hellion push perhaps from Finest. It is a very strong push, of course. You did see it a lot during beta of StarCraft 2, and then of course during the sort of initial at the release, you did see Terrans actually using this type of push a lot, and I think that may be the case. We've got 2 tech labs here, so we may see 2 Thors pop out. The difference is, compared to what was used during beta, you actually saw a lot of Marauder Thor, which was an extremely powerful push to contend with. Of course, the Thors absolutely annihilating any roaches that pop out, and the Marauders doing the same thing. That's because back in those days, was when roaches were the cool thing to do, because they only cost one supply and still did their very heavy damage. But obviously now roaches cost a little bit less, so that may not be the weapon of choice for Master if he does indeed have to defend against this attack. We do have one Thor on the way. It's being rally pointed out of the way so that any overlords that might come in and scout do not pick it up. And attempting to do a minor choke here at the natural is Master, and he's going to get that up, and that will of course funnel any extra units that come in through there, of course. But the problem is that, as I mentioned before, you've got this particular path and this backdoor path which can come under siege. So we'll see if that is a plan from Finest when he gets across here. Keeping an eye on the production tab, we do have a Spire, which is just about done. There it is. It pops up like a giant mushroom, and he's going to probably pop out a few mutas to make sure he has some map control, probably trying to take out any Hellions that are around the map. And as we can see, one Hellion is already here. Something interesting, which I did not think was, well, I thought was going to happen, was that Finest may grab his +1 to weapons pretty quickly as well with that sort of heavy amount of gas. But it looks as if he may be going for a second Thor. He's got these two Thors now. He's probably going to rally down the third Thor once it's ready, and then he's going to have to try and push then. It looks as if these mutas are coming along. Do keep in mind, just with the Terran push, that it's a bit of an all-in, because it is quite a heavy push to deal the blow to your opponent. And we do see that the SCVs are now running for their life. Of course, there are some SCVs coming along with the push now from Finest, and he's going to be able to get inside. We do not know if, yeah, you would suspect that Master is aware that this push is coming now, that he's sacrificing all of these SCVs to try and keep up with the rest of the flock, and for some reason this command center is being lifted. I'm not really sure what the point of that is, but he's lifting that up, and now the Thors, the Hellions, Marines, one Marauder, and a couple of lucky SCVs are inside this battle. The Thor's going to town on that Spine Crawler, taking that out quite quickly there. The mutas are going to have to be really careful here. Grouping up is not a good idea. They do take a lot of splash damage, and Master is going to have to be really up to scratch here to defend this attack. He's got all of his drones here, Queens coming down, he's got mutas, Lings, all sorts of things coming into town to play with this attack, and he will come inside. The SCVs are repairing each other. The Thors are getting not sure about what they need to be attacking, but they are taking out the mutas slowly. But the mutas have been beautifully microed there by Master, and he has done a great job at a GG from Master here, from Finest, sorry. So Finest has actually lost this, unfortunately, with that very heavy Thor push. Was just not enough. I suspect, actually, I suppose ironically I said that the this natural expansion can be hard to defend, but that may have actually been the reason why this actually worked really well, is because his forces sort of got clumped up here with no extra room to move, and they just got annihilated by all those drones, ironically enough. But there is the victory for nGenMaster from the nGen clan, a very big clan in C, of course, and he takes that win. Now the prize for this tournament, I don't think I mentioned it, was $300 cash plus a I think it was like a certain gamer style mouse, keyboard, or headset, or something along those lines. So congrats to Master for picking that up. Finest doesn't walk away with nothing either. He actually gets I can't remember how much cash it was, but also a selection of a prize as well. So great job to both of these guys for getting here to the grand final and doing a great little job of supplying us with some very cool matches. And we, as I said, of course, make sure you get in touch with MC Gaming to MC Internet to hook up with their internet cafes, and of course these sorts of tournaments if you're in Perth, Melbourne, or Auckland. Very cool to jump down there and say hello to the guys. So hope you guys enjoyed these. I will be grabbing a couple more of the replays from this tournament and casting them very soon. So stay tuned for those, and I'll get those up shortly. Cheers.